President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday chaired a cabinet meeting at Statehouse in Nairobi. And that meeting was also attended by the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. Remember, the Deputy President has been missing in most of the meetings chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta in the recent past, including failing to attend the National Security Council meeting, which happened last week. And yesterday, he was present. And after that meeting, Statehouse updated the country through their official Facebook page, Statehouse Kenya, on the details of that particular meeting. And personally, I remember reading that particular post and even clicking like on that particular post. But after some time, that post was deleted. And Kenyans started wondering, why would Statehouse delete a post they themselves made? Kenyans were wondering. Or was there a mistake they relayed to Kenyans and therefore they decided to delete the post? No answer came to Kenyans immediately. But Kenyans were quick to point out that there was a photo of the deputy president in that particular post, which was receiving a lot of comments, a lot of likes, and at the same time, that in that photo, President Uhuru Kenyatta was receiving a lot of bashing. And Kenyans easily concluded that that was the reason why that entire post was deleted. But the question is, why would President Uhuru Kenyatta, Statehouse for example, delete a photo, delete an entire post because of a photo of the deputy president? In my view, the best they could have done was to silently delete that photo but leave the entire post. They could have borrowed what Gideon Moi did the other time. Simply go and pick that photo, delete it, and let the main post remain. But in this case, Statehouse decided to clear everything. But what's really happening between President Uhuru Kenyatta and the deputy president? Or let me put it, what is this beef between the handlers of President Uhuru Kenyatta based at Statehouse and those of the deputy president based at Annex, to an extent that a photo can be deleted? So today I want us to look at the origin and probably why this is happening. But before we do that, if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to just take a second or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, you get notified. Now, back to the main issue. What's really happening between the dynamic duo? Because let's face it, nobody would have predicted that Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto would be having the kind of problems they are having today. To an extent that when Uhuru met with the deputy president in a cabinet meeting yesterday, it was news. It was news. And I remember one of the subscribers on this channel sent me a photo of the DP that, look, Uhuru and Ruto are today meeting at Statehouse, but watu ODM hawaongei. Someone sent me. But I was just like, why would that be a news that Uhuru and Ruto are meeting? These guys were dynamic duo. Now, for us to understand this, let us go back. Let me just try and give you background. Just take your seat and relax. Listen to the background. In March last year, President Uhuru Kenyatta went to Namibia. And while in Namibia, the president met with the Kenyans living in that country. And he addressed them. And in his address, the president spoke passionately about his war against corruption in Kenya. And in his speech, the president warned everybody, including, even if you are my brother, even if you are my closest political ally, and you are involved in corruption, you will not be spared. The president spoke passionately. And that speech by the president was shared on his official social media handles on Twitter and on Facebook. But after some time, it became apparent that along the way, the content, that particular speech was edited. Let me share with you what the entire speech of the president at that moment, that particular area which was edited. Listen to it very briefly.
If you seek a position of authority, it must be on the basis of what you are going to be able to do to serve your fellow man, not to serve yourself. And that is why, wapende wasipende, rafiki ama adui, ndugu ama dada, wewe kama unataka kuingiana na mambo ya ufisadi, yeah, tutapigana na wewe. You can be my brother, you can be my sister, you can be my closest political ally, you can be whatever you are, but you are an enemy of the Republic of Kenya and we will fight with you. Sijui kama tunaelewana vile mimi nasema. Yes? Hiyo lazima tukate line.
Then after some time, it became apparent that someone edited the video which was originally posted. And in the edited version, the part where the president mentioned my closest political ally was removed. So the people, as Kenyans started asking themselves, what was really happening? I want you to listen also to this clip, which was edited, where my closest ally was edited out. Listen in.
If you seek a position of authority, it must be on the basis of what you are going to be able to do to serve your fellow man, not to serve yourself. And that is why, wapende wasipende, rafiki ama adui, ndugu ama dada, wewe kama unataka kuingiana na mambo ya ufisadi, yeah, tutapigana na wewe. You can be my brother, you can be my sister, but you are an enemy of the Republic of Kenya and we will fight with you. Sijui kama tunaelewana vile mimi nasema.
Then Kenyans, if you listen to that speech, they are totally different. There's a part which has been removed, which was originally in the first photo. Then after that, it became apparent that there was a problem with President Uhuru Kenyatta and social media. And the president decided all of a sudden to deactivate all his social media accounts. He deactivated Facebook. Remember, the president had over 2.5 million followers on Facebook. 2 million, that's not a small number. He was actually the highest politician on Facebook. He deleted it. Then on Twitter, where the president had 3.6 million followers, the president also deactivated that account. And any other social media account the president had. And from that moment, they were very clear that all their official communications will be coming through the official Statehouse handle on Twitter and on Facebook. And that's why Kenyans who want to read anything Uhuru is doing are now relying on Statehouse Kenya, Facebook, and on Twitter. So when they made that post yesterday, it was very apparent that that was the official statement. But now back to this Namibia incident. Then immediately those accounts were activated, and Kenyans now were deactivated, and Kenyans started asking themselves several questions. Statehouse, the chief of staff at Statehouse, Nzioka Waita, issued official statement, which was very brief, that the president social media accounts had unauthorized access. Someone had accessed them who is not authorized. So Kenyans were like, is it this unauthorized access, the person who edited the video and re-uploaded it, is it the guy who had unauthorized access, or is it possible that the guy who originally posted the original content was the unauthorized access? He was not authorized to post that, but he ended up posting. Kenyans started asking themselves several questions. But it was clear that the president was facing serious challenges on social media, and he had to deactivate the account because of 3 reasons. Number one, the president was being bullied online by the allies of the deputy president, by the supporters, people who were supporting the deputy president. They turned President Uhuru Kenyatta as their punching bag online. So the president would post any other thing, and sadly, he would always be attacked, but mostly by people who voted for him. The president, coincidentally, was receiving support from the supporters, from ODM supporters. And I remember at some point, people were like, why would ODM defend the president? But that was the reality at that time. So the allies of the DP were really bullying the president. And the president believed that that was happening because of Dennis Itumbi, who had several bots, and would always, anytime they made a post, they would always start with those bots to if you post something and then immediately negative comments follow, then it's normally very possible that any other person who will be coming to post will always post negatively. Then number two, so Uhuru was facing a lot of bullying. Number two, probably the people who are handling his social media pages were kept on making errors, and Uhuru Kenyatta was tired. Assuming the president made that particular speech in Namibia, and he didn't want it to go through to his social media handle, and it went. That was an error. So I think the president was so tired with these people, and if you consider that for a long time, the people who are at the Presidential Strategic Communications Unit led by Itumbi were also just too erratic. I think the president was just tired. And lastly, maybe he feared the security of that particular account. So they decided to deactivate the account. But personally, I believe that account was deactivated because of the bullying by the allies of the deputy president. And that explains the genesis of this beef we see online between the supporters of the president and the supporters of the deputy president. And that explains also why the president, after this incident, decided to fire Dennis Itumbi and the group from Statehouse. And then they went and found solace somewhere at the office of the deputy president. And again, this week, they were now kicked out completely. So it tells you that there's something between Uhuru and Ruto. But why would Statehouse delete the post? Why would they do it? Because in my view, these guys have failed the president. If the president had 3.6 million subscribers, followers on Facebook, on Twitter, he had a 2.5 on YouTube. I mean on Facebook. Those are huge numbers. In my view, what these guys ought to have done was to manage the account. The president didn't need 3 million followers on Facebook, on Twitter. He didn't need 2.5 million followers on Facebook. He could have borrowed from the deputy president how the deputy president has managed to contain people. Any Kenyans who dare comment on the deputy president's Facebook page or Twitter negatively, you see, even if you disagree with him and just give your opinion, which is to the contrary, he will block you. And that's the exact strategy Megona has been employing. So today, I'm sure if you go to William Ruto's Facebook page and access the people blocked, there are almost over 500,000. But that will help him. That one helps him. If you go to Kipchumba Murkomen's page, you just disagree with him, you will be blocked. And I've been thinking, is there correlation, or is it possible that there's just one individual who is managing Kipchumba Murkomen's account, Ruto's account, Meguna's account, and even IBC's account? Because even IBC, I remember, they blocked me in the last election. Because in the last election, at least I was privy to some information which were true. So anytime you would challenge them, their post, then they ended up blocking most of the NASA supporters. So they blocked everybody. So I think Statehouse should have employed that strategy of blocking any other person who is anti-President Uhuru Kenyatta, so that sanity. Even myself, on my official handles, there are people who just come there to abuse, insult, and do any other thing. The best thing for you to do is just to silently delete them. They'll create another pseudo account, block. Create another pseudo account, block. And in my view, this is what Statehouse ought to have done. So if they were suspecting that there were bots who are dictating the narrative, then anytime they were making a post, then they could have had their team ready to start blocking. So if they block in a month, they should have blocked several people. And normally these people who are normally creating problems, they are normally not the majority. They are normally the minority, but very lethal. So that's the strategy which I think Statehouse ought to have done. I remember even Raila Odinga, when Miguna used to just abuse him every time on his Facebook page, he ended up blocking Miguna. So Miguna again started accessing that page through some pseudo account. They realized, then Miguna was blocked. So in my view, that's how Statehouse ought to have saved President Uhuru Kenyatta and the negative narrative, because some of these things are sponsored. If Raila Odinga makes a post today, you must expect allies of the deputy president to go there just to challenge. If Ruto makes a post today, you expect the allies of Raila Odinga to go there. And there are some who are civil, but some are just there because they've been sent to say certain things. So block. But why would President Uhuru Kenyatta, why would the president or Statehouse delete a post? Just 3 reasons. In my view, the first possible reason is that probably, in my view, the Statehouse didn't want the deputy president in that meeting. Or even if he was expected there because he's the vice president, there's no way you can block him from attending cabinet meeting, and he was there. Maybe the Statehouse didn't want that photo showing the DP in that meeting to come out. Because I remember a friend of mine was pointing out to me that if you looked at that particular photo which was online, the seat the DP was sitting on and the seat the president was sitting on were totally different. Because previously, the DP would have a seat with the armrest. But for the first time, his seat didn't have armrest, just like the rest. The only one which had armrest was the one for the president. So probably the Statehouse didn't want the image of the deputy president to come out. But someone who is managing that account posted. Because I'm also told that even as Statehouse, people are almost split in the middle by those who believe the DP has a chance and should be supported, and those who believe that it doesn't have a chance. Now, number 2, I think it's a signal that Uhuru and Ruto have differences, and those differences cannot be reconciled. Because why would a whole post go down? Why would a whole post go down? And why would the DP, for example, allow his bots to attack the president? I've always insisted on this platform. There is no way. We know on social media, there's always what is called interactions. If you make a post, then people comment, people like, and people dislike, something like that. It's called interactions. You can always measure the interactions because the DP always makes posts on his Facebook page. But what is this special thing that when he makes a post on his Facebook page or Twitter, which has more followers than Statehouse Kenya, then some of those posts don't get or don't generate the kind of interactions which they generate when these posts are made on Gideon Moi post or on Uhuru on Statehouse post. I mean, what is this? Because we all know, even in the last election, for example, the interactions on Raila Odinga's page was higher than the interactions on Uhuru Kenyatta's page. But Uhuru Kenyatta had almost double number of followers on his social media handle. But of course, at some point when Twitter decided to delete fake accounts, then it was proved that Raila Odinga had few fake followers, while the DP and the president had so much fake followers, and probably those were the bots which were being used. And because there's no very clear strategy of dealing with those bots, they still exist. So that's number two. Number three, it is now clear that the president is not going to support his deputy. I know it's painful sometimes to the supporters of the DP in Auma, but those are the realities. Sometimes it's just good to start figuring out, because there's no any other platform the president can use to advance the political interests of his DP, if not on official platforms like those ones he had. Because Kenyans have been asking themselves, where was the DP? And now the DP is attending the meeting. Then you delete the photo. You delete the photo. Remember, even this particular post was shared by the DP on his official page. Then ika Malaysia. So it means even the other side, imepotea. Surely. I don't know what you think. But from me, I think those are the possible reasons why those posts were deleted. And if you are bumping on this video for the first time, I want to just take a second or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, you get notified. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.